Hello, I've just read another book by Michael Morpurgo. This one's called Little Manfred. Why am I reading so many children's books? Because I haven't been out to buy any others, and I only have children's books in the house that I haven't read already. The nice thing about children's books, of course, is you can read them. I mean, this is 170 pages, so you can read it in one sitting quite easily. Another great book, and not my favourite Michael Morpurgo book. My favourite Michael Morpurgo book is still Kensuke's Kingdom. That blew me away. But a very good book for children, and even as an adult, an enjoyable read. It's basically inspired by the presence of a wooden Dachshund dog, which is in the Imperial War Museum in London, and that dog was carved by a German prisoner of war working in England after the Second World War. And this is a story based upon that, about how the dog was carved, who carved it, how it came to be. And it starts off with a little girl and her brother Alex walking on the beach with their dog, and they meet two old men, and it turns out that one of those men was a prisoner of war who worked on the farm the children live at, and they know her mother, and they carved her the dog as a peace dog. So nice story, and based on history again, so there's a history lesson in there. And I wonder if everybody in the UK knew that a quarter of Britain's workforce after the Second World War, who helped to lift the country out of the absolutely dire situation it was in after the war, were Germans, were prisoners of war. I wonder if people actually knew that, if there'd be less racism, if there'd be less of this, nonsense populism that we get now, this whole, we want our country back, Brexit and all that bullshit. Because Brexit was basically won on a racist sentiment. Even the people who backed it, people like Jim Ratcliffe, billionaire backer of these assholes like Nigel Farage, he's not staying in the UK. He knows the UK's fucked. He's taken his car factory and moved that to Europe. Boris Johnson, I'm going to quote, leave now because it's the only way I'll become president. He's only interested in his own skin. Brexit won't make that much of a difference to people who are already rich and entitled, because it's just going to screw everybody else. And most of those everybody else is other idiots who voted for it. But this isn't about politics. This is about the book, and the fact is Michael Morpurgo's books are a great education for people, because it shows them that there is no single island, no single country that is all great all by itself. We all relied on each other. Like I said, a quarter of Britain's workforce after the war, German prisoners of war. Probably more than half of the people who have fought for the UK over the years, sacrificed their life, sacrificed everything, were from colonies. They weren't even white, they weren't English, they weren't even white to start with. And a funny little story there, a friend of mine recently did a DNA test. He's English, except his DNA test shows he's absolutely not English. He's mainly Scandinavian. He's got some Irish, or was it Irish or Welsh, I don't know. Not a touch of English in him. But good book, easy read again, nice engaging style, realistic, probably because it's based on fact. Michael Morpurgo doesn't dress his stories up in silliness and magic and fairies and everything's lovely. It's kind of true to life, which is one of the things that makes him really good. Would I recommend it? Yes. To an adult, not necessarily, but sit down and read this. It takes you 40 minutes. Better than watching a TV program. That's my opinion anyway. So, Michael Morpurgo, Little Manfred, the past is all around us, illustrated by Michael Foreman. It's set in just shortly after 1966. So of course there's mention of England winning the World Cup. That's where we're meant to strike. The only time it ever happened. Maybe another 100 years it will happen again. Who knows? But nice book, good book. Talks about the sinking of the Bismarck as well. So there's a history lesson for kids in there. Do you know what the Bismarck is? German warship. Very interesting read. So recommended. 7 out of 10. Michael Morpurgo, Little Manfred. Alright, hope you enjoyed that.